What's up, guys? Welcome back to Project Time Garage. I want to get back on Project Freedom here today, and we're going to do a speaker upgrade. For quite a while I've been kind of unhappy with the way the sound system is in this truck. I kept it stock for a long time, and we even put that little Bluetooth iTransit thing in there to retain the stock stereo. And while the radio itself sounds okay, music going through or from Bluetooth devices, it loses some quality, probably just because of compression. So I want to get a way to play USB music in this thing and you know, just get a little bit better quality. So we're going to put a set of speakers in here today, and the ones I've chosen were the Infinity reference speakers. No sponsorship here. I've had some Infinity stuff before and I liked it. It was on Amazon. I like Amazon. No one was there to tell me no, so I bought them. These are 6x8 or 5x7 speakers for these trucks. So if you have a Ford F250 350 of this particular vintage, then 6x8 or 5x7 is what you need. Don't buy the 6x9s. They're not going to fit. They're just a little bit too big. So make sure you stay with 6x8 or 5x7. I'll put a link down there in the description box of these particular speakers, but don't rush out and buy them yet. Let's see how they sound first. So let's get them installed, and then we'll see what the final verdict is. Also, guys, if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, I really would appreciate it if you just take a second and click on the little icon down there. Looks like my logo. Click on that, click on subscribe. It doesn't cost anything. It's free, just like these videos are. And it really helps us to make videos like this free each week. So appreciate it if you would subscribe. If you like the video, reach down there and give me a thumbs up on that. I'd appreciate that too. Well, since this project's not going to do itself, we may as well. Okay, let's start on the passenger side here, because it's where the sun is least invasive to the camera. Basically, I'm going to start by popping this switch panel off here. I'm going to use a non-marring plastic pry tool. Let's face it, I usually use my knife. I'm just doing this because it's on camera. Get under the edge of it, pop up, easy peasy. Under here, we have squeezy connector, and we own this. The screw you're looking for is right here. It's one of two screws that hold this panel on. Other screw that you care about is going to be behind this light panel, for this light lens. It's going to be right down here. Right there. I believe these are 7mm. Pretty much 7mm in Pro Tool, and this door panel comes off way easier than most. All right, with that done, grab a hold of the door panel and lift. Oh, no, don't lift yet. Forget this piece up here. It has to come off too. You can grab it and pull. Now we can do that lifting stuff I talked about a second ago. Look at that. Straight up. Now the only thing that was holding us now is this light back here. There we go, door panel. So there's the speaker, held in with a 5.5mm bolts on all corners. And there's our speaker. Squeezy tab to unplug it, and there we go. Okay, now, a couple things to talk about here. On these harnesses, or these plugs here, we care very much about polarity, meaning which one of these wires is plus, which one of these wires is minus. And we care about that because the way speakers work, they basically move in and out and create air pressure, and you perceive that as bass. Well, the thing is, if I have, let's say, two speakers here and they're doing this, then I'm making a lot of air pressure and I can hear the bass. But if I take one of those speakers and I flip the plus and minus backward, they actually work like this and they cancel each other out. and it just kind of makes your bass kind of not there. So for that reason, we care about which one of these is plus and which one of these is minus. And here's how we figure that out. If you can hear in the background, I have some static playing on the radio. And what we're going to do is we're going to take our multimeter here. We're going to go to DC voltage and set it down to like maybe a 4-volt scale. We're going to take our test leads and we're going to just basically touch them to pins here, right? And you see how that voltage went up some? 0.0045, whatever. Notice though that if I take my leads and I reverse them and plug them in the other way, you see that minus sign over there on the left? That indicates to me that I have my red lead hooked to a negative wire and I have my black lead hooked to a positive wire. So basically, whenever you hook them up in such a fashion that you actually get voltage readings and they're not negative readings, that basically means that your red lead is touching a positive wire. So in that case, my red lead was against this wire, so our green with orange is speaker plus. Next thing we're going to talk about is how we're going to hook these things up, because if you'll notice, this is what the speaker has for a connector. All right, most people just cut these things off and splice some ends on there and keep on rolling. I'm not that guy. I'm actually going to unsolder this connector here and here, and I'm going to solder short leads to it and solder those to my new speakers. Come on inside, I'll show you. So the basic gist here is this. I'm going to unsolder this, probably going to burn a knuckle or 3. I don't want to destroy this speaker. I want to unsolder and leave myself the opportunity to be able to put it back together in the future if I ever, in case the truck ever comes worth $100 million and it's, you know, it's worth more with its factory original speakers. I don't know. It's just how I roll there. Here we go. All right. Unplug. Now, unsoldered. Cool thing is, you can just take these things and just unplug them. They just slide in. So I haven't damaged my speaker at all. I can put it right back together anytime. Now, the new speaker. I'm going to start out by just tinning these connections a little bit. Just so my solder will stick to it well. There we go. Have a little short run of speaker wire here. And what we're going to do, I'm going to strip a little bit back, like so. So my positive one is on this side. This is the side that the green and orange stripe wire went. So I'm going to use that as blue. And what I'll do is I'll just bend this around. I'm just going to take this, just going to kind of bend it around there a little bit. Take my hemos, hold it like so. Solder it up. There's one side. That's going to be roaring hot though, isn't it? One side. And this one. Same thing. There we go. There's that. For the other side, go ahead and strip a little bit back, not too much. I'm going to go ahead and just tin these wires as well, because we tinned the speakers. The speaker side, I mean. There we go. And on all these speakers, usually the biggest, widest lug is positive and the skinny lug is negative. We set our blue we were going to use as positive, or that's the way we hooked it up. So now it's really just a matter of making the connection. There we go. Connection made. Soldered up. This is on there. Back to the truck. I did take a minute to run some electrical tape around this just to make sure that it doesn't ever ground out or short out against anything. But there we go. So we have a tweeter here that is not completely on a flat plane, so I'm going to orient the speaker so that that tweeter is aiming back into the cabin rather than toward the dashboard. Cool thing about these speakers is that they share the exact same mounting hole orientation as the factory. I did not know that before I bought them. Now I know that. And of course we still hear static. In fact, I'm going to turn that on down. It's a bit loud, but at least now we know the speaker works. Not too tight. All right, door panel back. This is probably the trickiest part of the whole thing, just to get all those clips to line up and everything, but it's not bad. Don't forget your light. Put that back in while you can still get to it. Usually if you just use your knees and arms and elbows and hands and chin and stuff, you can get it pretty well back in place. Yay. Everybody's in, the light works. Time for the back door. Okay, the back door is a little different, but still the same for these trucks that are kind of extra cab, or I think Ford called them crew cab, and then they had a super crew or something. Anyway, let's start with these two Phillips head screws here. They're just short enough they really want to fall out for you. After that, it's just the old grab and pull method. Just grab somewhere and pull. There we go. Ta-da. And for down here, for this lower panel, we have two 7mm. There's supposed to be two plastic nylon retainers there, but those are missing. It actually wasn't me that left those out for a change. I've never had this door panel off. Go figure. All right, 7mm. Now the hard part. Grab, lift up, pull back, door panel off. I swear everybody could take lessons from Ford on how to put door panels on. Okay, back to our 5.5mm. 5.5. Is it okay to say 5.5 because we're first part's metric and the second part is imperial? I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna keep saying it. Ooh, that's a dusty, dirty speaker there. Ta-da. Okay, let's get some static on the radio and see if we can figure out which of these is plus and minus, and we'll have this side almost done. Listen to that wonderful static. White noise or pink noise or some kind of noise. Like the 4 volts. Know where to really lay the meter here. I'll just lay it on the floor and tell you what I see. A lot of negatives that way, which means the positive, I guess, is going to be brown, right? I can't really see the meter again. Okay, so in this case, my brown wire is going to be my positive. So now we know that. We just have a little soldering to do now. All right, same thing. We're just going to unsolder this one, being careful not to damage it. There we go. Just like before, we'll just push this connector off. Like so. It's going to be kind of hot, so I'm going to touch it gingerly for a few minutes. See if we've cooled off any. So opposite the clip is the way I remembered it for positive. Let's follow that guy around there. Grab it with my little hemostats. And I'll go ahead and tin this. And we said blue was positive. I'm positive. All right, got it. Okay, so there's that one. Let's go put it in the truck. We have our static back. Just gonna plug the thing in and make sure it works real quick. It does. Static sounds awesome. Again, yay. Once again, I want to angle my tweeter so that it's inside the cab, so we can hear when it tweets. Just like the other door panel, it's just a matter of trying to get everything in all at the same time. There we go. Perfection-ish. This thing is just a repeat of taking it off. Line it up. Clip it back in place. Couple screws. Now for the other side. I'm not going to make you guys sit through and watch that because you've already seen it done. We'll come back when it's over and we'll show you what it sounds like with some non-copyright music from YouTube's audio library. All right, guys, I got this other side done. Took me a minute or two. Grew a quick beard while I was at it. And also, I went a little bit further, did a little bit more than I intended to do. Check this out. I installed a pair of these. These are just 8-inch powered subwoofers. Really slim, under the seat kind of thing. They're pretty cool. I don't know how long they'll last. They were Chinese, but anyway. Basically, it's a built-in amplifier here. You wire it straight up to the radio, and some noise comes out of that side. I'll put a link down in the description where you can find these if you want them. Don't have any sponsorship for any of this stuff. Don't know how long this stuff is going to last. I was going to use these for my Starion. They've been sitting on the shelf for a while, and I decided, well, since I'm tearing into the radio on this truck, we might as well take this opportunity, see how they sound. So far, it's not bad. I mean, it's not audiophile quality stuff by any stretch of the imagination. But if you want a little bit more low end than what your factory, system can provide, works pretty good. Matter of fact, here, let me show you where they're mounted, and then we'll go listen to them. So let me show you. All right, check out where I put these. I've got two. So there's one under this seat, way back there. You probably can't even see there, but there's one there. And then I actually put one under this center jump seat here. I know you won't be able to see that because it's yeah, there you can. There it is, right there. So it's sitting right there. The only pain about the whole process was I had to actually take that center jump seat almost out. I basically unbolted it, lifted it up, and then got my speaker, underneath it and all put together, and then put it back down. There's plenty of room under the seat for it. There's just no way to get the thing under the seat with it bolted down. So once you lift it up some, it slides right under there, and it's pretty good. Cool thing about this is each one of these subwoofers has a separate crossover, so you can adjust how much high and low bass each one of them has. And that's nice because some songs have some pretty high bass, and it kind of overruns everything, and others have way too much low bass. So you can kind of adjust one of them to have more high bass and one of them to be more in the low spectrum. And the cool part about that is we have two remote volume knobs here, so one of these for each speaker. So what I've done is I just brought them up here and mounted them pretty close to me, so that as we're driving and if a song comes on that's pretty hot, I can turn them back, and if a song comes on that's pretty pretty shallow, I can turn them up. But how do they sound? I'm glad you asked. Let me show you. All right, sorry, these are going to be songs you've never heard of before because I can't play anything that's copyrighted, so I have to use royalty-free stuff. And since I happen to subscribe to a service for music on YouTube called Epidemic Sound, that's what we're going to play. Got 3 songs for you, kind of a little mix of each. Hopefully this camera will have enough microphone quality to be able to pick up the lows and the highs and do a pretty good job. I'll put it kind of in the center of the truck, and we'll do that. So let's see what this sounds like. Okay, if you have some headphones, put them on or whatever. I won't get too loud with it. Let's see here. See how the bass is kind of hot on that? I can turn it back right here with these, and then we can try again. So there's that song. Here's another one that you can use. then finally, let's see, what do we got here? A little bit of rock. All right, guys, so everything that I did on this video, everything that I bought, I'll go ahead and put links down in the description box for that stuff. So if you decide to do it, or you have a truck like this, then you can do it. I can tell you that it's been about a month since I actually installed these subwoofers. I know I'm a little late closing this video up. Been about a month since I did this, and I'm actually really happy with it so far. Like I said earlier, it's not audiophile quality stuff, but there again, I'm half deaf from loud cars and trucks and tractors all my life. So it sounds really nice, or well, sounds a lot better. Let's put it that way. So I'll claim that as a win. Not to mention the subwoofers and stuff were just, they were stupid cheap. So anyway, guys, as usual, really appreciate you sticking out here and watching this video. If you got anything comment-wise, those go down there. I'm interested to see how many of you guys have done speaker upgrades on your Super Duty trucks and what you used. Be curious to know that. Down in the comments, let me know, what you've done. Like I said, Amazon links for everything there. And if you haven't already subscribed, right down there in the corner, you'll see my icon. Click on that. That'll subscribe to my channel. It's free, costs nothing, and I got some wicked decent content. I got some wicked okay content. Appreciate you watching. Don't forget, like, share, subscribe, tell all your friends about us. I'll see you next time.